briefed, I must say something, and I can say anything. And I'm like, yo, that's the biggest mistake, I can talk about anything. It's like you give your teenage son 1,000 bull on a Friday afternoon with the car keys. Like he's just gonna go crazy. So I remember this one day, so I wake up in the morning. I'm supposed to go to the office, and so I call the receptionist. So I ask her, is there anyone there in the office looking for me? No, there's no one. I'm like, okay. Then I drive to the office. And this has been happening for a couple of months, because there were these guys who were looking for me. And I've been running away from them. Some two white guys. So it so happens that these guys, they want to repossess the car that I was owning, because I haven't been paying for some time. So I'll run away from them and call the office. Every time I have to go to the office, I call, are they there? Are they looking for me? Right? And no, they're not here. Or no, they're here, don't come, So one day, I go to the office, I get in. So it so happens that the receptionist was not there. And these guys are there, right? Two white guys. So as I come, I see them, I'm like, shucks. And I can't make a U-turn. So I go to them and I ask them, So the thing back home, I'm from South Africa, so the thing back home is white people, in their eyes, all black people are the same. So they don't know me. They were looking for me, but they don't know me. So they're like, no, we are looking for, are you Roche? I'm like, no, I'm not Roche. Let me find out if he's around. So I make pretend as if I'm looking for someone. And I was like, no, he's not here. So okay, we'll wait. I was like, are you guys sure? Yeah, okay. And then I left, because I didn't want the other guys in the office to come call me by name. And I was like, so you are Roche. Where's the key to it, So it was like that for a while, and I would hide the car, so I wouldn't park the car at the parking lot at the office. At home, I'll park it 3 or 4 houses away from home, because I didn't want them to, So I ran away from them for a while, and I decided, what, I'm tired of running. I'm taking the car back to the bank. So I go there, take the car back to the bank. This is like 2012. I take the car back to the bank, and we do all the paperwork. Then I realize I don't even know where the taxi is. How do you get to the rank, right? So I'm sitting, I'm like, now I don't even know how much the taxi fare is. Mind you, I'm with suits and tie, laptops. I don't know how you do this, right? Then I'm like, I need a lift to the taxi rank. I don't know where the taxi rank is. And so the guy's like, your car, does it have petrol? I'm like, yeah, there is some petrol. He's like, okay. Takes my car keys and it's like, let's go. So he's giving me a lift to the taxi. He's using my car, right? So I sit in the other side, the passenger side, laptop and he drives. It's such a surreal thing to experience when you lose your car. Mainly because when I started my business as an accountant, I left all my small clients and I bet on this one big client. And this one big client, for whatever reason, do the work, invoice, they don't pay, right? It's government. So they pay after 6 months. By then I've lost everything. My team is gone, left with my laptops. I got what to do it. So you'll get your laptops once you've paid us. So, right, such a very painful experience. I can look back at it now and I laugh about it. But back then when it was happening, it was very painful. I mean, this was my first car. Right, love of my life. Well, okay, but it was my first car, And I've been thinking about that as I talk to other entrepreneurs, and I try and understand, do you guys go through this? From 2012, over and over, I ask, and it so happens that every entrepreneur, we all have these blunders. We all make our mistakes, painful as they are, and we hide them. We don't talk about them because there's a stigma, there's a taboo. People are going to laugh at me. They're going to think I'm a failure. I don't want to look like a failure, so I'm not going to tell anyone, right? I'm going to close myself in the office and I cry because I have to fire people because the business is not doing very well. So we don't talk about this, right? go to conferences. I would go to conferences and I listen to entrepreneurs speak at conferences. But deep down I know, but guys, you're not telling the truth. Right now, you started here, then I did this, boom, I'm a millionaire. Yeah, sure, but that's not the whole truth, right? The real truth is you're gonna make a mistake, you're gonna fail, all right? And some mistakes are very embarrassing. So fast forward from 2012 to 2019, we then decided, no. I think we're all liars as entrepreneurs. We've mastered this art of PR and personal branding. We are all liars, right? And we mastered that art. And we thought, no. Let's have a session where we open up and talk real issues, right? In a safe space where we are all entrepreneurs and we can, sometimes you feel like, oh, my business is struggling, I'm a failure. And you come here and you listen to other entrepreneurs speaking, like, oh, okay, so I'm not the only one. So we are all of us struggling here, right? And that's what gave birth to my Biggest Blunders, where we decided to say, guys, let's have platforms where we invite entrepreneurs. And we're gonna try and look smart and look bright and be successful. No. We're gonna talk about the real stuff, the mistakes that we have made. So in 2020, we started my Biggest Blunders. We were all under lockdown, house arrest. We decided let's do it virtually. So we then did it virtually. We invited speakers all over the continent to come and talk about their blunders, which was actually a very difficult thing to say to people, come and talk about the blunders. I get invited to talk about my successes, right? Now you are saying I must come and talk about my blunders, So it was such a very difficult thing where we ask people, be vulnerable, be real, right? So in 2020 we started virtually. We had speakers. Moshe at some point was there. There was connection failures, and in the middle of his talk, he just get disconnected, right? Blunders galore, right? Fast forward to 2021, we started having physical events like this where we invite entrepreneurs to come and share their blunder stories, their tears, their emotions on stage, because some people have experienced these blunders and they've never spoken about them. Right, and one guy, we're doing an event in Kimberley. He talks about how he's lost everything, and he was staying at a flat, and he can't go back home because he comes from a very poor background. And he starts selling things. He starts selling a couch this month because he needs to pay rent. Next month he sells the TV. The month he sells the fridge. He gets to a point where he has sold everything. There's nothing to sell anymore, and now he has to vacate the place with just the bag that he has. Right, and he's homeless, right? And I asked him, but so you're homeless, you leave the place, where are you going? Right? He says, I don't know where I'm going. Here I am with my luggage, I don't know where I'm going, right? The Holy Spirit will guide me, right? Started sleeping, and this for me touched me. Started sleeping so the first night, he sleeps at the bus terminal. At the bus terminal, you get there, it's like, when is your bus coming? No, at midnight, right? Midnight comes. When is your bus coming? At 3 a.m. When is it? 6 a.m. until the following, right? And you can't go back the following night and with the same excuse, right? Because, you have run out of that excuse. So you need to come, so he has to leave. And then he says, he left the bus terminal, he goes to, because he's hungry now, he goes to KFC. He stands next to KFC, right? And he says the smell of KFC was able to somehow fill up his stomach, right? Just the smell, because he could not buy, he doesn't have money, right? And just smelling this thing, it will somehow trick his stomach that there's actually something in the stomach. He has never spoken to anyone about that story. His parents don't know that at some point he was homeless. His friends don't know that at some point he was homeless. And he's like, this is quite an emotional story for him. But it's healing, right? Talking about it, letting it out. It's a painful process, but it's a necessary process. So thank you so much. And I would like to congratulate Moshe, because now we are in Botswana. In South Africa, we have got different events. So I'm very happy that we are launching it in Botswana today, and I want to congratulate Moshe and the team for putting it together. And I'm hoping that we'll be vulnerable and we'll be vulnerable and talk about our blunders.